Imagine being a quiet 15-year-old girl, invisible to most, cornered in a grimy high school bathroom by a pack of ruthless bullies. They're laughing, holding a cup of toilet water, demanding you drink it or worse. That's where Sophia Carter found herself, heart pounding, nowhere to run. But what she did next wasn't just shocking. It turned her school upside down and left everyone questioning everything they thought they knew about strength. Stick around, because this story will blow your mind. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join our community for more jaw-dropping stories like this one. Sophia Carter was the kind of girl who slipped through life unnoticed. At 15, she was small for her age, with mousy brown hair that always hung over her face like a curtain. She wore oversized sweaters, even in the sticky heat of late spring, in her small Ohio town, and kept her eyes glued to the floor. As she shuffled through the crowded halls of Westview High, she wasn't unpopular, she was invisible. To most of her classmates, Sophia was a ghost, someone who existed only in the margins, never speaking unless forced to, never drawing attention. But to a select group of girls led by Kaylee Monroe, Sophia was a target. Kaylee, with her glossy blonde hair and cruel smile, ruled the sophomore class like a queen. She had a knack for sniffing out weakness, and Sophia, with her quiet voice and nervous habits, was the perfect prey. Asterisk, it started small, as bullying often does. Whispered insult in the cafeteria line, shove in the hallway, just hard enough to make Sophia drop her books. By spring, it had escalated. Kaylee and her crew, Madison, Tara, and Brooke, had made Sophia their project. They'd trip her in gym class, hide her assignments, or accidentally spill soda on her backpack. Sophia never fought back. She'd just pick up her things, wipe her eyes, and move on. Her silence only fueled Kaylee's fire. "She's so pathetic," Kaylee would say, loud enough for Sophia to hear. Like, does she even have a personality? The other girls would laugh, and Sophia would shrink further into herself. Home wasn't much better. Sophia lived with her mom, Linda, in a cramped apartment above a laundromat. Linda worked double shifts at a diner, leaving Sophia alone most evenings. They didn't talk much. Linda was too tired, and Sophia didn't know how to explain the knot of shame and fear that grew in her chest every day. She'd tried telling a teacher once in 7th grade about a group of kids who'd mocked her for her thrift store clothes. The teacher had sighed, told her to toughen up, and sent her back to class. Sophia learned her lesson. No one was coming to save her, so she stopped trying to be saved. The bathroom incident happened on a humid Tuesday in May. Sophia had been dodging Kaylee all day, sensing the group's energy was particularly vicious. During lunch, she slipped into the second-floor girls' bathroom, hoping for a moment of peace. She was washing her hands when the door slammed open. Kaylee strode in, flanked by Madison and Tara. Brooke leaned against the door, ensuring no one else could enter. Sophia froze, her hands dripping under the faucet. Kaylee smirked, holding a plastic cup she'd filled from the toilet in the last stall. The water was murky, flecked with something Sophia didn't want to think about. "Drink it," Kaylee said, her voice sharp and gleeful. Sophia's stomach churned. She shook her head, barely a whisper. "No." Kaylee stepped closer, towering over her. "You don't get to say no, freak. Drink it or we'll make you." Madison giggled, pulling out her phone to record. Tara grabbed Sophia's arm, twisting it just enough to hurt. Sophia's knees buckled, and she sank to the floor, her back against the cold tile wall. The cup loomed closer, Kaylee's eyes gleaming with power. Sophia's mind raced. She could smell the stale, sour odor from the cup. Her heart pounded so hard, she thought it might burst. She wanted to scream, to fight, to run, but her body wouldn't move. She was trapped. Asterisk. Then something shifted. Maybe it was the weight of months of torment, or the way Kaylee's laugh echoed in her ears. But a tiny spark of defiance flickered in Sophia's chest. She looked up, meeting Kaylee's eyes for the first time. "You're pathetic," Sophia said, her voice low but steady. The words stunned everyone, including herself. Kaylee's smile faltered. "What did you say?" she snapped. Sophia swallowed hard, her hands trembling. "I said, you're pathetic. Did you need to hurt me to feel good about yourself?" The bathroom went silent. Madison's phone was still recording, but her jaw had dropped. Tara loosened her grip. Kaylee's face twisted with rage, but before she could respond, Sophia stood up, her legs shaky, but her gaze unflinching. "I'm not drinking that, and you can't make me." Kaylee lunged, splashing the cup's contents toward Sophia, but she dodged, the liquid splattering across the tiles. Sophia bolted for the door, shoving past Brooke, who was too shocked to react. She ran down the hall, her sneakers squeaking, her heart racing with a mix of fear and exhilaration. She didn't stop until she reached the library, where she hid between the stacks, gasping for breath. For the first time in years, Sophia felt something new. Power. Not the kind Kaylee wielded, built on fear, but something quieter, fiercer. She wasn't invisible anymore. Word of the bathroom incident spread like wildfire. Madison's video meant to humiliate Sophia backfired. By the end of the day, it was circulating on social media, but not in the way Kaylee had planned. Student. We're talking about Sophia's defiance, not her weakness. Did you see how she stood up to Kaylee? One kid whispered in the cafeteria. "She's kind of a badass," another said. Sophia, who'd spent years avoiding attention, was suddenly the center of it. But the attention came with a cost. Kaylee was furious, and she wasn't done with Sophia. The next day, Kaylee cornered Sophia outside the science wing. "You think you're tough? Now?" she hissed, her friends circling like vultures. "You're nothing. You'll always be nothing." Sophia's newfound courage wavered, but she held her ground. "Maybe," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But I'm not scared of you anymore." It wasn't entirely true. She was terrified, but saying it felt like armor. Kaylee shoved her hard, and Sophia stumbled into a locker. A crowd was gathering, phones out, recording again. Sophia's eyes darted around, searching for an escape, when a voice cut through the tension. "Back off, Kaylee." It was Ethan Nguyen, a junior who'd never spoken to Sophia before. Ethan wasn't popular, but he wasn't invisible either. He was the kid who aced every test, played soccer, and kept to himself. He'd seen the video like everyone else, and something about Sophia's quiet strength had stuck with him. Kaylee laughed, but there was a nervous edge to it. "What? You're her knight now?" she mocked. Ethan didn't flinch. "Just saying you're not as scary as you think. Leave her alone." A few kids in the crowd murmured in agreement, and Kaylee's confidence cracked. She stormed off, her crew trailing behind. Ethan's intervention was a turning point. But it wasn't the end of Sophia's story. Over the next week, she started noticing changes. Kids who'd ignored her for years nodded at her in the halls. A girl in her English class, Mia, invited her to sit together at lunch. Sophia was wary she'd been burned before, but Mia was genuine, and soon they were friends. Sophia started speaking up in class, her answers sharp and thoughtful. Teachers noticed. Her history teacher, Mr. Reynolds, pulled her aside to praise her analysis of the Civil War, suggesting she join the debate team. Sophia laughed off the idea, but the seed was planted. Meanwhile, Kaylee's reign was unraveling. The video had reached the principal, Mrs. Delgado, who called Kaylee and her friends into her office. They claimed it was just a prank, but the evidence was damning. They were suspended for a week, and Kaylee's parents were mortified, grounding her indefinitely. But Sophia didn't feel vindicated. She felt hollow. She didn't want revenge. She wanted to understand why Kaylee hated her so much. Against her better judgment, she decided to find out. One evening, Sophia saw Kaylee sitting alone at a park near their school. It was a risky move, but Sophia approached her. "Why do you hate me?" she asked, her voice steady despite her racing. Kaylee looked startled, then defensive. "I don't hate you," she muttered. "You're just easy." Sophia pressed her. "Easy how?" Kaylee hesitated, then sighed. "You don't fight back. It's like you're asking for." The words stung, but Sophia saw something in Kaylee's eyes. Shame, maybe, or something close to it. For the first time, Sophia realized Kaylee wasn't a monster. She was a girl, just like her, carrying her own weight of insecurities and expectations. That night, Sophia couldn't sleep. her mind replaying the conversation with Kaylee. She felt a mix of anger and pity, but also a nagging curiosity. Why was Kaylee so desperate to control others? The next day, while helping Mia sort through old yearbooks in the library for a history project, Sophia stumbled across a clue, tucked in the back of a 2019 yearbook was a folded note, its edges worn, addressed to KM in childish handwriting. It read, "I'm sorry you're sad. You're still my best friend." The signature was smudged, but Sophia recognized the loopy letters from a class project Kaylee's younger sister, Ellie, who'd moved away years ago. Sophia's heart sank. She'd heard rumors about Ellie, who'd been in a car accident, and hadn't returned to school. Digging deeper, Sophia found an old local news article online. Ellie had survived, but was paralyzed, and Kaylee's family had fallen apart under the strain. Kaylee's cruelty, Sophia realized, wasn't just about power, it was about pain. That evening, Sophia sat down with her mom, Linda, for the first time in months. She poured out everything: the bullying, the bathroom, the park. Linda listened, her face crumpling with guilt. "I should have been there," she whispered, pulling Sophia into a hug. Sophia cried, not just for herself, but for Kaylee, for Ellie, for all the hurt no one talked about. She decided to write Kaylee a letter, not to forgive her, but to offer a truce. "I know you're hurting. I see you." She slipped it into Kaylee's locker, unsure if it would change anything, but feeling lighter for it. The discovery about Ellie and the moment with her mom gave Sophia a new perspective. She wasn't just fighting for herself anymore, but for a world where pain didn't turn people into bullies. Sophia didn't forgive Kaylee, not exactly, but she walked away with a strange sense of closure. She wasn't invisible anymore, not to Kaylee, not to her classmates, and not to herself. Over the next few months, Sophia changed. She joined the debate team, surprising everyone with her quiet but fierce arguments. She started writing poetry, pouring her pain and strength into words she shared at a school open mic night. The crowd applauded, and for the first time, Sophia didn't want to hide. She wasn't loud or flashy, but she was present, and that was enough. The biggest twist came at the end of the school year. Westview High held an assembly to address bullying, prompted by the bathroom incident. Mrs. Delgado invited students to share their experiences anonymously, but Sophia volunteered to speak. She stood at the podium, her hands shaking, and told her story: not just the toilet water, but the years of silence, the fear. And the moment she decided to fight back in her own way, the auditorium was silent, then erupted in applause. Kaylee, sitting in the back, didn't clap, but she didn't look away either. Later, she slipped a note into Sophia's locker. "I'm sorry." It wasn't much, but it was a start. Sophia's story spread beyond Westview. A local news outlet picked it up, framing her as a symbol of resilience. She hated the attention, but it brought her opportunities: a scholarship to a summer writing program, a chance to mentor younger kids who'd been bullied. Sophia wasn't a hero, and she'd be the first to say so. She was just a girl who'd found her voice, and in doing so, she'd changed her world. Wow, what a journey Sophia went through. From a quiet girl pushed to her breaking point to someone who found her strength and inspired others. What's your favorite part of her story? And hey, we'd love to know, where are you watching this video from? Drop your city or state in the comments below, and let's see how far Sophia's story is reaching across the USA. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button for more stories that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.